At a family gathering, my father laughed loudly and shamed us. "It's a blessing your wife miscarried," he said. "Our only grandchildren come from our favorite child." I lost my temper. I should have refused to attend. These meals at my parents' home were never genuine. My parents pretended to be loving grandparents. Diane acted the part of the flawless daughter, while Juniper and I were mere extras in their narrative. But Juniper had urged me to go. "Maybe things will be different this time," she'd said. "Perhaps they'll finally—" She didn't finish, but I understood. Maybe they'd treat us with respect. Maybe they'd acknowledge Juniper as my spouse, as someone who mattered. Maybe they'd stop making us feel insignificant. So we went. The evening started as usual. My mother fussed over Diane's kids, slicing their food as if they were toddlers. My father reclined in his chair, praising Diane's husband, Mark, for something trivial, likely just for existing in a way he approved of. Diane sat across from us, nodding along, pretending not to notice how our parents barely glanced my way. Juniper and I stayed quiet. Whenever she tried to join the conversation, my mother gave a curt nod or a distracted reply before turning back to Diane. Meanwhile, my father took digs at my career. "I still don't get why you quit a stable job for this, whatever it is you do now." He waved dismissively, as if my hard-built business were a childish hobby. I let it slide. That was my error. Eventually, the topic shifted to children, specifically Diane's kids. My father rambled about how fortunate he was to have such perfect grandchildren. My mother smiled, adding that they'd always known Diane would give them a beautiful family. Juniper stiffened beside me. I squeezed her hand under the table, reminding her we'd endure this, like always. Then my father laughed, a loud, cruel sound that silenced the room. Even my mother, who usually backed him, pressed her lips together. And then he said it. "It's a good thing your wife lost the baby. Our only grandchildren come from our better daughter." Juniper's hand slipped from mine. The air turned heavy. My mother stared at her plate. Diane didn't react. Mark shifted uncomfortably but stayed silent. No one spoke up. No one called him out. I was furious. No, it was deeper than that. This was years of swallowing insults, pretending their words didn't wound me. It was the weight of Juniper's grief, the nights she sobbed in my arms, mourning our loss. And now, my father was laughing about it. I stood so abruptly my chair screeched. My father smirked, as if proud of himself, as if expecting me to take it like always. But this time, I didn't. His grin lingered, waiting for me to back down. That's how it usually went. He'd say something vile. Diane would ignore it. My mother would downplay it, and I'd let it go because fighting never changed anything. But this time, something shattered inside me. I scanned the table. My mother avoided my gaze, pushing food around her plate as if oblivious. Diane glanced at me briefly, then away, pretending the moment had passed. Mark fidgeted but stayed mute, as usual. And Juniper, she sat motionless, hands folded, face blank. But I knew her. I saw the pain in her eyes. I remembered her whispering that she felt like a failure after the miscarriage, blaming herself despite my reassurances. And now my father had turned it into a punchline. I slammed my palm on the table, rattling the dishes. My father flinched briefly before smirking again. "You're vile," I said. He scoffed. "Oh, relax, Thomas. Don't be so dramatic. It's just the truth." "The truth?" I repeated. "The truth is you're a bitter old man who gets off on belittling others. You've never respected me, or my wife." "Watch your tone," he warned. "Or what?" I shot back. "Disown me? Ban me from these awful dinners?" I gestured around. "You already treat me like an outsider. Maybe it's time I accepted that." My mother finally looked up, pleading. "Thomas, please." "No," I cut in. "No more excuses. You enable him because it's easier, but I won't. Not anymore." I turned to Diane. "Say something." She hesitated, glancing at our father for approval. "It was a bad joke," she finally muttered. "Let's not overreact." Juniper exhaled. as if her last hope had vanished. No big deal. My father chuckled. See? Even your sister agrees. You're blowing this up. I clenched my fists, then forced myself to relax. I wouldn't yell. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction. I stood and took Juniper's hand. We're leaving. She didn't hesitate. She didn't look back. My father laughed again. Go ahead, but don't come crawling back when you need this family. I met his gaze. I don't need a thing from you. For the first time, I meant it. The drive home was silent. Juniper stared out the window, arms crossed, face unreadable. I gripped the wheel, my father's words burning in my skull. I'd always known he didn't respect me, but I never imagined he'd go this far. At home, Juniper shut the bedroom door. I didn't follow. I sat on the couch, replaying the night. My father's laughter, my mother's silence, Diane's indifference. I vowed to cut ties. No calls, no attempts to reconcile. For the first time, walking away felt possible. Then, 3 days later, my mother called. I almost ignored it. But a part of me, the part that still hoped she cared, answered. Thomas, she said softly, as if bracing for my anger. What do you want? She sighed. Your father didn't mean what he said. I nearly laughed. Yes, he did. You know how he is. He jokes without thinking. Can't you just let it go? I cut her off. So I should pretend it didn't happen? Show up next time like nothing's wrong? She hesitated. Yes, for the family. A chill settled in my chest. There is no family. I hung up. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. A week later, my lawyer called. Thomas, did you sign over part of your business to your father? I froze. What? Your father filed papers claiming partial ownership. Says it was a family agreement. That's a lie. I never signed anything. We'll fight this, he assured me, but he's trying to force his way in. My blood boiled. My father, who'd mocked my business for years, now wanted to steal it? Juniper walked in as I ended the call. What's wrong? I told her. Her face darkened. Cut them off, completely. No more chances. I nodded, but I knew my father wouldn't stop. That night, I barely slept. Juniper lay beside me, tense even in sleep. She wanted me to end this. So did I. But it wasn't simple. By morning, my lawyer had sent the forged documents. Seeing my fake signature made me sick. I called my father. He answered casually. Tommy was wondering when you'd call. You stole from me. He scoffed. Don't be dramatic. It's business. You need my guidance. You forged my signature. Prove it, he taunted. This business should have been ours. You'll still run it under me. You know nothing about it, I snapped. He sighed, as if I were a naive child. You don't understand power, Thomas. I hung up. Juniper wasn't surprised. We need to act fast. If he's forging documents, who knows what's next? She was right. My lawyer took legal action, invalidating the papers and warning my father. I thought he'd back down. I was wrong. Days later, my office manager called. Your father's here. Says he owns part of the company. I rushed over. He was in the lobby announcing to my staff that he was now co-owner. Leave, I ordered. He smirked. We'll settle this like men. There's nothing to settle. You're trespassing. He turned to my manager. See how he disrespects his own father? That's why he needs me. Her disgust was clear. Security arrived and escorted him out. This isn't over, he muttered, but it was. In that moment, I decided I was done. With him, my mother, Diane, all of them. I thought Juniper would be relieved, but she just looked weary. You say that now, but I know you'll cave when they come back. I won't, I insisted. She didn't believe me. For the first time, I feared she might be right. After the office incident, I tightened security, locked accounts, and waited. Weeks passed. Silence. Juniper was wary. He's planning something. She was right. But the next betrayal came from an unexpected place. One morning, my lawyer called. Your sister's suing your company, claims she helped fund it and deserves ownership. I was stunned. Diane? That's a lie. She never gave me a cent. She says it was a verbal agreement, he explained. This was my father's doing. He'd convinced Diane to attack me, thinking I wouldn't fight her. I called Diane. You're stealing from me now? Dad said I deserved it, she said calmly. I have a family to support. So you'll lie and cheat? It's not personal, she replied. I laughed bitterly. It's very personal. I hung up. That night, Juniper packed a bag. I'm staying with my parents for a while. My heart sank. Juniper, wait. I warned you, she said softly. If you don't cut them off completely, they'll keep destroying us. I did cut them off. She shook her head. But you'll always hope they'll change. I can't do this anymore. She left. Days passed with no word. The silence forced me to face the truth. She hadn't left because of them. She'd left because of me, because I'd let them ruin us. That realization hurt more than any of my father's words. I'd wasted years clinging to a family that never cared, almost losing the one person who did. I wouldn't let them take anything else. I took final steps, blocked all legal claims, removed my father's name from my business, and changed my number. I sent my mother one last message. I'm done. You chose him. Diane chose him. Now I choose Juniper. Don't contact me again. Then I showed up at Juniper's parents' house. Her father answered, stern. She doesn't want to see you. I need to talk to her, I said. Juniper appeared, arms crossed. What do you want? I cut them off. For good. No more calls, no more chances. You were right, Juniper. I see that now. She studied me. Why should I believe you? Try calling my old number. You won't reach me. Ever. She hesitated, then sighed. Come in. It wasn't instant. But Juniper came home. As for my father, mother, and Diane, they tried. My father sent Mark to guilt me. My mother emailed. Diane showed up at my office. Security turned her away. I never responded. Their power over me was gone. I'd wasted years chasing a family that never loved me. In the end, I chose the one that did. And I never looked back. If you enjoyed this story and felt the emotions behind it, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences and heartfelt stories. Your support means the world, and it helps us bring more content like this to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.